Hey everybody, it's your old pal Robert from ThrillRide.com. How you doing? And happy holidays. So we're in the lull between Christmas and New Year's. I finished my move to see me. I'm so glad to be here. It's a lovely situation, and hopefully you'll learn a little bit more about that in the weeks and months to come. But today I'm taking a look around a spot that is less than 2 or 3 miles away from where I live, called Corriganville Park. It's a really beautiful city park, several trails to hike, but it has a pretty interesting history that connects it to an actor and stuntman named Ray Crash Corrigan. He's the one who bought this property in the early 40s, built a bunch of sets, a western town, an old Tudor mansion, I think, an outlaw shack, but decided to open it up as a working movie studio. And then in the late 40s, I believe 1949, they began opening it on weekends and holidays as an amusement park attraction for the locals. And it became very popular. They had Wild West stunt shows and that sort of thing. In 66, I believe he sold the property to Bob Hope, and it remained in his hands. And then in the 70s, there were a couple of fires that pretty much destroyed all the buildings here, which is a shame. And then pretty recently, it was turned into the city park. So we're gonna check out some of the trails here, but they definitely have some remnants of what Corriganville used to offer. So pretty exciting to check it out. By the way, I'm a fan of Ray Crash Corrigan, not necessarily for his westerns, but his last major screen role was as the titular monster in It, the Terror from Beyond Space, which helped inspire Alien. So very important movie in the history of science fiction films. Anyway, so let's take a look around. So there are, I think, 4 official trails through this 264-acre park. One of them is an interpretive trail that has some signs up from the local Boy Scouts pointing out various bits of flora and fauna. This one goes to Camp Rotary, so we're going to check that one out first. And I can already see we're going to get a lot of beautiful rock work here, so looking forward to that. There we go. We have a coast live oak. Holly-shaped leaves characterize the coast live oak, and this oak tree is also referred to as live because its leaves stay green year-round, and evergreen. There you go. Well, here are some facts about the elderberry I never knew before. The Chumash Indians frequently used the elderberry in their daily lives. They ate the berries as a tasty source of fruit and made the flowers into fritters. And they also used elderberry stems to make flutes for playing music and arrows for hunting game. Cool. It's a pretty versatile plant. Well, as you can see, not much to it, but there is something here called the Railroad Tunnel Mound. The Southern Pacific Railroad Company completed the 1 and 1.5 mile railroad tunnel between Chatsworth and Simi Valley in 1904, and the rock material removed from the tunnel during construction was piled up to form the mound in front of you. The trees on top of the mound date back to 1904. Huh. Okay. Okay, now it looks like we're really coming upon some of the physical remnants of the studio sets and location elements, and looks to be some sort of a man-made canal with a bridge over. What do we got here? Concrete pool. This concrete pool was built for water scenes in the movies filmed at Corriganville during the 40s and 60s. The square portholes located on the sides of the concrete walls are camera windows used to shoot underwater scenes. The Creature from the Black Lagoon, Jungle Jim, and the African Queen are just a few of the movies filmed at this location. Awesome! I gotta tell you, Creature and especially African Queen, two of my favorite movies. I mean, the creature design in Black Lagoon alone, oh, so great. And African Queen, if you haven't seen it, please do. Just one of the great romantic comedy adventure movies of all time. And I'm wondering if this was just another spot to place a camera while shooting scenes in this trough. Cool. That is really neat. And now looking back at the bridge, you can see the square portholes they were referring to. That would allow cameras to shoot the underwater stuff. That's amazing. All right, we're going to take a quick peek into the camera portholes over here. Not a ton of room in there. Yeah, that was pretty cozy. And just back walking under the bridge through this runoff channel, I guess. Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah, this is a pretty extensive pool. Goes back quite a bit. I wonder if they shot miniature work here too. Yeah. Oh man. To go back in time and witness some of the movie making as it happened. That would be great. All right, learning a little bit about how you construct a railroad line through a mountain. The Simi Valley train tunnel was constructed by using blasting powder to break up large sections of the mountain into smaller, easier to handle pieces of rock. Workers moved the broken up rocks to mounds like the one posted at sign 3. Notice the 2 rocks with holes. Holes like these were drilled into the surface of the mountain rock in order to provide a space in which to place the blasting powder. Yeah, that's where the boom boom goes. Nice. Okay. So we're standing in the middle of what is known as Sherwood Forest after the 50s TV series Robin Hood, which was filmed here. Birds native to Simi Valley, such as the red-shafted flicker, the great horned owl, and the red-headed woodpecker, nested in the hollow oaks found in the limbs. You might observe and hear the birds here. And by the way, I'll apologize now for that woody woodpecker impression. That was terrible. And yeah, there you go. Sherwood Forest, where Robin and his band of merry men would plan all their mischief. Not seeing any signage explaining what these 4 stone pillars are all about, but I'd like to think they were part of the original park and movie set. Kind of a weird little bit of Stonehenge. Yeah, no ideas what these are all about. So it turns out that Corriganville has a lot of, movie history, but also a lot of history about the construction of the railroad through Simi. And according to this sign here, this is the Chinese campsite. As construction of the railroad through Simi Valley commenced in 1900 and was completed in 1904, Chinese are credited with helping build many of America's western railroad systems, and Chinese blue ware pottery shards characterized by blue designs on white backgrounds have been found in this area. Good grief. And you can see right here, adjacent to the park, the actual railroad. And there's the tunnel through the mountain where all that rock was excavated to create. Oh, this is cool. Just like up at the Bat Cave, somebody's made a really cool kind of rock spiral. Love that. So the bridge we crossed at the front of this, what they call Robin Hood Lake, where the camera house was located, is officially called the Susanna Pass Bridge. There you go. I love finding little critter holes like this. I wonder what lives in there. Not sure what this little amphitheater is for, or whether it functioned as a little amphitheater back when this was an attraction. These benches look pretty new, but that's really neat. Yeah, what if they do little concerts and such out here? So just came up a rise to discover this view. Very nice. You can see little trails heading off in all directions. You can hear a little bit of the ambient noise of the 118 behind us, but it's not too distracting. So apparently, Ray earned his nickname Crash in his college football playing days in some kind of defensive position where he would put his head down and just crash into the opponents. And then later in his acting career, he starred in a series of Flash Gordon-like serial episodes. And his character's name was Crash Corrigan, which they adopted from his nickname, and that sort of became his official screen name going forward. And he, again, famous for appearing as apes in quite a few motion pictures with suits that he owned. And he eventually sold those off, but trained the new owner in how to wear them and make a convincing gorilla. And unfortunately, in all those costumed roles, he was usually uncredited. But he definitely became famous for, again, his last major feature film role as the space monster in It, which is another stone cold science fiction classic. Wow. So out in this kind of open area, see a fair number of foundations of buildings that used to be here. And unfortunately, yeah, not much left. Fire did claim most of the structures that were here in 70 and 79, I think. But plenty of the stone still here. Wow. Oh, this is neat. Here we have some RC racers in the background up there. Yeah, this is a good wide open spot to be enjoying that sport. Another big foundation slab here. This must have been where the majority of the western town was, and you can just imagine what once might have stood here. You can only wonder what these kind of vertical pipes were for. There you go, and there's a look back at the this cluster of what once was quite a nice collection of buildings. Okay, there you go. So this area was once part of what was called Silvertown. And the photo here, which dates from 1964, it says. So that was pretty late in the ranch's operation as an amusement attraction. And it says here, pictured here is a reenactment of a fistfight along Main Street. From left to right are Pat Buttram, known for his role as Mr. Haney in the TV series Green Acres. I know that well. Character actor Bill Willingham, and Corriganville movie ranch owner Ray Corrigan. All right. At the far end of the town is the stable, home for the horses used for the trail and stagecoach rides. The rock formation, probably Corriganville's most recognizable landmark, is in the background. All right. So yeah, there it is. And if what they're referring to is that outcropping up on the right, little teeny bit of a grizzly peak thing going on there, yeah. So I'm guessing this felled tree is the valley oak being described here. But according to the sign, unlike the Coast Live oak tree seen at sign 1, the valley oak tree loses its leaves in the fall. This oak can live to be hundreds of years old. Wow. Notice the ball-shaped growths called galls on the leaf stems. Galls form when a gall wasp lays eggs on the stem. Delicious. Oh wait, it goes on. Chemicals that the wasp leaves on the stem cause the valley oak to form a gall which surrounds and protects the wasp eggs during incubation. The larvae eat their way out of the gall and emerge as adult wasps. So what's really cool is right across the street from this park is a little functioning movie studio. And I'm not sure how easy it is to gain access, but I'm going to try to figure out if there is a way. I'd love to poke around in there. You can see the backside of some big stage sets. And it looks like they've got a variety of different periods accounted for. But yeah, the movie making heritage of this area continues. Taking another stroll around the backside of Silvertown. And if I'm remembering my research correctly, at the peak of Corriganville's popularity, they were hosting upwards of 20,000 people on a weekend. That's not a bad run for a little roadside attraction. Large sandstone rock formations are located throughout the park. Sandstone is a sedimentary rock that was formed at the bottom of the ocean floor from compressed sand, and thick deposits of sandstone built up under the ocean over millions of years to form the cliffs that you see. Over time, the rocks were exposed to the weather through upheaval and continental plate movement. Yeah, sandstone, that's it. Love me some sandstone. Neat. So many birds occupy these rock crevices and shallow caves, both for nesting and roosting. The red-shouldered hawk, red-tailed hawk, barn owl, gray barn owl, raven, and cliff swallow, just to mention a few, are common visitors to these nesting grounds. Cool. Well, I just learned a new word here. Riparian, or riparian, not sure how that's pronounced. The term riparian refers to the community of plants and animals that live along a water source and whose existence depends upon water being at or near the surface of land. The dragonfly and the tree frog are good examples of insects and amphibians that depend upon water for their survival. During hot summer months, the stream can become a popular and active spot for many animals, especially when the surrounding chaparral runs dry. Okay, riparian. Neat. So come for the film history and stay for the natural education. Lichen. Notice the tricolored plants growing on the sandstone rocks. This plant, called lichen, is composed of both algae and fungus growing as a single unit. The algae produce food and the fungus holds onto the rock. That's a nice combo. This is a good example of the symbiotic relationship in which one plant cannot live without the other. algae and fungus took a lichen to each other, but the marriage ended up on the rocks. So is it pronounced lichen? I've called it lichen for my entire life. Make the joke work better. Maybe it is lichen. Anyway, behold a beautiful partnership in action. All right, another little filming location hidden away here, the Trailblazer Cave, which of course was a clever fake. The right side had been built up with plaster and cement, and shown at the cave's entrance in this photo are, from left to right, Bob Steele, Hoot Gibson, and Ken Maynard. All right, here it is, the Trailblazer Cave. And there's the 118 up there. Well, there's not much information legible here left, but right up ahead is Canyon Rock. It's another popular location here. Well, as much as I enjoyed the gray morning, this beautiful sky with blue and still some clouds scattered about, quite lovely. So that platform over there is actually called Stunt Rock, and that was something that Johnny Weissmuller would dive into the waters from. And the only reason I know that is because I just discovered this very informative signage here. So yes, officially this was called Robin Hood Lake, and that rock, Stunt Rock, is where Jungle Jim was make his dramatic leap into the water. Very cool. I love this. So this fallen oak, a coast live oak, fell over during the winter storms of 1995, but even though it fell over, it's still alive. Notice how the branches are growing vertically from the trunk. This tree is an important part of the outdoor community. Birds live in the tree, squirrels live under it, and beetles feed on its fallen bark and leaves. Very nice. Go nature. Always good to keep an eye out for the non-human denizens. And yeah, we've had bobcats walk across our property. So yeah, we're very close to nature in this part of the valley. I like it. So I don't know it for a fact, but I gotta believe this is part of the original ranch property. That's a pretty dang cool gate. I like it a lot. Yeah, neat. I love that wagon wheel in the star motif. That is super cool. Nice. All right, I think that is going to bring this one to a close. So, as always, thanks for coming along. Thanks for being patient. Sorry for the downtime over the last few weeks, but I think things are going to pick up again as we head into 2021. As I said before, lots of great new places to explore up in the immediate vicinity, and definitely looking forward to that. So I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season and are staying as safe and sane as possible. And again, let's see what comes in 2021. The future's looking semi-positive, so fingers crossed. All right, we'll catch you in the next one.